my name is Rucheta Bhatia. I have been running Brewworks Private Limited for the last 12 years as co-founder and the CEO. We have 3 brands under Brewworks. We've got Love and Cheesecake, which is our dessert and bakery brand. We've got Poetry, which are our all-day cafes and restaurants. And we have Sesame, which is a Pan-Asian restaurant that we run, one outlet of only. Love and Cheesecake and Poetry are fairly older brands. Love and Cheesecake started in 2012 from a really small experimental kitchen, which was about 200-300 square feet. And we ran that from there for about 9 months, experimenting on what kind of products we wanted to have, what kind of price points we want to have, what kind of ingredients we wanted to use, and how to make that impact and how to make it different from what was available. Why we started Love and Cheesecake was because we saw this opportunity where at that point desserts were mostly either whipped cream based, or the better ones or the better quality ones and the healthier ones were just available in 5-star hotels. That was the motivation to start Love and Cheesecake, and we wanted to start products which were healthy, which were safe to eat, which were 100% dairy or chocolate and nothing else in between, and which were free of preservatives, emulsifiers, or any kind of essences, etc. Poetry, of course, started in 2016 as a restaurant or a cafe brand. The motivation to start Poetry was because we realized that there was more that we could offer to a customer from an all-day dining perspective, keeping in mind that the dining preferences of the crowd was slowly and steadily changing towards more international palates also. Sesame is our newest baby. We started that in 2021 from Powai, Hiranandani Powai in Mumbai, and we just intend to have one lovely Pan-Asian outlet only. So Love and Cheesecake started as a dessert brand. Amit, my partner, had just come back from Australia at that point and had been working with a lot of cheesecake related foods. I really liked and enjoy cheesecakes when I travel. So we realized that that's a great product to start with. And then we were trying to figure a name which had cheesecake in it. And it was a very crowdsourced name, as is all our names. And what we did was we just opened it to friends and family to say, what are your thoughts and what kind of name would you recommend? Because we're really bad at the names. So we had a cousin who said, there needs to be love in it. So let's do love. And then we said, and there needs to be cheesecake in it. And then that's how it was simply just Love and Cheesecake. And having been made with so much love and so much effort, that's how the name stuck. Poetry, we wanted Poetry to be like an extension of Love and Cheesecake, that romantic, soft, sweet feeling. We wanted the food to sort of be poetic in the way it is structured, the way it is plated, the way it is served. And the experience generally at Poetry, we wanted that feeling of romance to come out. And that's why we got the name Poetry. Sesame, I think, is because sesame seeds are very inherent in ingredient of an Asian restaurant, and that was the motivation for Sesame, and that was the inspiration for Sesame. I think India as a country, as our preferences, have come a really long way over the last 12 years. When we started out, something like cheesecake was a product that you didn't see in the market at all. If you saw them, you would see them in certain restaurants only, which had probably a blueberry cheesecake and a New York cheesecake and nothing else. Today, we're sitting on 56 different flavors of only cheesecake. Why we have introduced so many flavors? I mean, we could have done with the first 10, 12, 15, but obviously consumers are asking for more, they want more, and they're more experimental today. So one of the challenges that we faced very early on as the first movers in the business, in the cheesecake business, was creating that awareness. I mean, we used to have very funny questions first up to say that, is this made out of paneer? Is this made out of dahi? Because people didn't understand what cheesecake was. So, and they had pretty much not heard of, I'm talking about the masses, I'm talking about a bigger sort of set of people who have not traveled probably, or whatever. they didn't know what a mascarpone cheese was, or they didn't know what a cream cheese was. It was always like, acha, Amul cheese, Britannia cheese, like, like, and you're like, no, and you were also trying to figure out how to explain. But I think we did a fairly good job of explaining, because for us it was taste the product, and then, taste what you have been eating all along, and then you'll know the difference. I think we delayed a lot in understanding the importance of data in the business. While everything was going well, you're making money, the business is profitable, you're not really asking questions because it's all going well. And you think that this is how a business should run. It's only when things don't look the way they're supposed to look on paper for you is when you ditch the Excel sheets and you want something that's a more robust system. And that's how we got introduced to RestroWorks. Before that, we worked with a legacy billing system, but we didn't have an inventory management system, etc. at all. Everything was on Excel sheets, or even worse, books, literally. And sometimes I wonder how we came to 22, 23 outlets with such a system, or a lack of systems. We started working with RestroWorks in 2023, as late as that. And I would say that in the last 1 year, we've got a great handle over the business. We've sort of got back the handle that we used to have while we were smaller, where we know what is happening in the business on a day-to-day level. Initially, before we were on RestroWorks, we literally did not know what was going and coming out of our warehouses on a day-to-day level. We didn't take stock closing seriously. We didn't take, just because we didn't know better. We felt that while the business is profitable on paper, there's money in the bank, etc., it's working well. However, what we didn't realize was we had no control or no data on what kind of pilferages, wastage, our food cost, our COGS in general. We didn't have a handle on all of those things. Still, we were forced to get a handle on those things, and that's when we sort of switched the software that we were using. I think the RestroWorks material management system is great because it is, if that's what you're doing on a day-to-day level, it is very intuitive and easy to use. It is also, from an owner's perspective, there's a lot of data that you get out of there, a lot of reports, and it sort of makes your analysis very, very easy on a day-to-day level. The app is great because at the end of the day, before sleeping, you know everything that has happened in the company in the day, just simply looking at the app, because you have access to that data on your phone. So I think it's a very simple sort of software to use for information that you need. And it just builds, it's a stronger, more robust base for the company. So the Cockpit app is literally my favorite part of RestroWorks, because it's nice to go, watch your sale on a day-to-day level, by hour, by bills, by city, by the location, etc., the outlet. You get all of that information sitting in your bed just before you go to sleep on your phone, which all of us are so used to sort of going through. And instead of just scrolling through like a social media page, I'd rather just scroll through the Cockpit app and like see what's happening in the business. And it's very easy. It's easier than even the website, really, because it's just all there, crunched up, and gives you the data that you really only need. So all along, we have always had 2 to 3 menu updates or changes in the year. Part of it is seasonal, part of it is to address different food costs, and part of it is just changing preferences of customers. Earlier, this was not really data-driven or data-based. This was more hearsay and what the managers probably told us this item is selling or not selling. Now it becomes easier because you have a structure to what your COGS are. You have a structure to what is selling, what's not selling, what kind of products are going out of stock, how fast. I think all of this just makes it easier when we are building a new menu. The other advantage is also, for us, I think the biggest advantage has been understanding our COGS over time, and understanding how to better our cash flow system. Initially, we used to have different websites for Zomato, for Swiggy, for Magicpin, for whatever, right? And till you're running it that way, you think that this is the only way to run, right? You don't know better, and this is as efficient as it can get. Where orders would get delayed, orders would not get punched in time, or even forget to punch orders, and at the end of the day, you know, the staff is sort of punching orders that they have missed, etc. Which then was an odd hourly sales data that you would get. But I think the integration that we have, for example, with on RestoWorks makes it so much easier for the staff, because it just cuts down their time with just a click of a button. I think the training process in RestoWorks is particularly excellent. The support staff is superb, because they're on call 24 hours a day. It becomes very easy when you're facing trouble. Every time we have a bunch of new people, we actually set up a training, and RestoWorks directly does the training for them. So the onus of that training, they take up the onus of that training rather than us having to train, because when we're training, obviously we'll have hits and misses. But I think the staff finds it very, very easy, very, very intuitive to use the front of house, back of house. The dreams are always really big. We do intend to, we're at 23 right now, we do intend to go to 230 or more. We're Bombay and Pune based as of right now. We do intend to go all India and hopefully international after that. So the dreams are always big. It's nice to have faith, honestly, in the system that you're using to run this entire business. And we have that faith, and we're very happy that we're onboarded with RestoWorks. So that part of our hassles and headaches is sort of taken care of. We are slated to open about 5 new outlets in the first quarter of next year. So let's see. So at Love and Cheesecake, we started with only about 12 flavors. Initially, we used to have a small Visi-cooler fridge, from where what was lovely and what was the USP and has been all along is where food has been the hero throughout. We didn't focus on the branding or the boxes or the packaging or anything for the first 2-3 years. We only focused on the food. We had people who would come into the kitchen, wait for their cheesecake to get made, and then take it away. So it was that fresh, and I can very proudly say that we still keep it that fresh. We don't keep our food for more than, our desserts and bakery for more than 12 hours in the day on the shelf. Thankfully, they're picked up before that and nothing remains, and so our wastage is low. But the intent is always to keep it extremely fresh without any preservatives or emulsifiers or anything that is not pure quality. And I think because of that promise, we have been able to build a very strong community of more than about 85,000 customers a month. So onwards and upwards.